All right, we're here.
Okay, we're live, I guess. Some technical difficulties. I'm still trying to work out my audio jacks.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
Okay, I was hearing oof. Okay, I think I'm good now. I was hearing everything coming back to me doubled over. We're good.
Okay.
Technical difficulties tonight. Chuck has been gracious enough to provide the Kobold's screen here and threw up a very nice looking overlay. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
But we're back tonight playing some Shadowrun in the year 2057 using the Champions Now system because we don't like the Shadowrun system. We just don't. Yeah. So tonight, Chuck, who are you playing?
Oh, I am playing Ivan. While Gantu's, away. I'm the leader of the group. And
Well, the best scout is really the leader.
I mean,
but,
really, yes. But yeah, so I'm Ivan. I'm the mage. I make fire, and it's great.
He does. Steven joining us tonight.
Hello, everyone. I am playing Scout, the Orc ex-cop. And with Gantu gone, I am the leader of the group. So I'll be making sure everyone stays in line, stays conscious of the sanctity of life and how we will not burn down cities or cause biological weapons to go boom. That just will not be in the cards.
And the third leader of the group, Jake, who are you playing?
I'll be playing Kaylee, the digital, the Decker, who is now something of a budding digital rock star and also a drug addict and also a cannibal. She has ghoulism.
I think just by saying, an up-and-coming digital rock star kind of encompasses all three of those. You got your drugs, you got your ghoulism. I think just saying you're a rock
demanding
star covers
diet,
it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just covers it.
Question: is it cannibalism if you're eating a human?
No, of course not.
Okay, so are you an actual cannibal or are you just a meatitarian?
Well, depending on who's watching this stream, I don't eat any people of any kind ever.
Okay, just throwing out questions.
And rounding out our party tonight, playing the character that's absolutely not the leader of the party, that all the others can agree on,
yes,
is
Masu. I am a follower, and I am I'm an actual mage, and not just someone who has a can of hairspray and a lighter.
You have more than one spell?
Yes, I have several spells, mostly that revolve around mental things, which I understand Ivan is not quite hip to this thing that we call thought. So yeah, and I'm here just trying to learn your American ways, and I am absolutely going to report back. Just burn it down. It doesn't matter. They don't care.
But to be fair, Masu isn't actually have any power at all. He just managed to charm a few spiritual dragons into giving him abilities. He doesn't do anything himself. So
Oh yeah. To be fair, this is also
he is a
fair.
champion of great justice.
Yes.
Yes.
So last session, just boiling it down, you got an emergency call from one of your own. Techno G was in some trouble. You arrive at his pad to find that he's dying of some kind of poisoning or radiation or something. The oozing canister is there on his table. You manage to stabilize him, dropping his body off at a hospital that they will hopefully save him completely instead of just for minutes. But before you can make it away with the oozing cylinder, a very competent team took it from you and escaped in a very wet worksy black helicopter, which resisted Ivan's fireball.
That was very rude.
Thank you, warm and generous God of this universe.
Mm-hmm. I do believe Masu, were you able to put that tracker on it? I forget.
Yes.
So you got a tracker on the, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Outside of that, what cursory information you are able to do legwork on is that the chemical was created by the Hawkshorn Chemical Manufacturing Company, which went out of business in 2048 because of a lawsuit that was brought against them by the metahuman community. Arthur Vogel, presidential hopeful at the time, lawyer, is the one who brought the suit against the Hawthorne Chemical Company and got it shut down due to this chemical being lethal to most metahumans. Having said that, you guys were exposed to the chemical and you're looking several shades redder than you normally are, with a little bit of a fever going on, almost like you've been exposed to something. Who knows what? That includes Ivan, who is not a metahuman.
I'm not.
Aren't you? You're a wizard, aren't you?
I'm
metahuman.
A street mage, but I'm just a human.
Yeah, when we talk about metahumanity, it's not your class. It's so like elf, dwarf, human, etc. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I
the fact that you can throw spells around doesn't make you more than human.
Oh, okay.
Or elven or troll.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of the other races as more than human. I think of them as less than human.
Of course you do.
Yes. I mean,
Typical.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You eat people. You have no moral standing at all.
Hey, you lay off Kaylee. She's a tortured artist.
So we left the last episode with you guys dumping Techno G off at a hospital with a note basically saying, likely has contracted something that's lethal. I'm not exactly sure what the note was that you just kind of pinned to his body and GTFO'd out of there.
No, it had a direct request for hazmat because Masu wrote that note. It said hazmat suits. This man has been exposed to a deadly chemical that is contagious.
But I think that's where we left off. So you guys are still in the van.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was Scout present for all that?
No. Nope. Scout didn't happen to be in at the bowling alley when Techno G got a hold of everybody. So it's only been like a couple of hours since they left. So let's pick up with that. So Scout, you walk in, you notice that the bowling alley is normal customers are there, the normal people that staff and run the bowling alley, but none of your friends, they're all gone. I mean, you know that Gantu is out on a business meeting, but there's no one else there except for the best Scout.
I'll grab my pan and call Kaylee.
All right, Kaylee, ring, ring.
What is your ringtone, Kaylee?
Oh no, it would be some form of death metal.
Why
are
you
the post neo prog punk cover of the theme song from Dukes of Hazzard?
I'll call a second time since I was declined so rudely.
Cold as ice.
Okay.
Cold as ice.
I will send a text. Hey, you busy? And then I'll call again.
I imagine it has an emoji at the end of it.
And riddled with
smiley face.
It's 3 words and they all have typos.
Oh God.
And they're also it's your pan. So there are also payloads of malware that are asking you to buy the newest male enhancement products, a lifetime supply of some kind of enzyme, and magazine subscriptions that are all flooding your pan.
And my fat orc fingers can't hit the tiny little X on each of the ads.
Exactly.
Oh boy. So I'll start closing out ads left and right. Then I'll finally answer just to stop the damn text. What?
Oh, hey, you busy? You're not like on a date or anything, are you? I'm not trying to interrupt if you are.
I am melting from radioactive chemicals. What do you need?
Oh, well, you know, I saw you weren't at the bowling alley, and I was thinking if you were already out, maybe like I could meet you somewhere. Like, maybe we could, I heard there's a good steakhouse that opened up nearby. I thought we could grab some food.
No.
Are you already out with someone? Is that it? Is someone else there?
I'm out with Ivan and Masu. Ivan is also dying of a deadly radioactive chemical. Masu
that's good to hear.
Unfortunately, quite healthy.
Yes, I am quite healthy. The picture of health.
Well,
Thank
since
you.
they're kind of busy, then maybe we could just, if not a steakhouse, maybe like some coffee or something.
Just go to the damn bowling alley.
I'm already at the bowling alley. I'll text back. I'm already at the bowling alley. Are you coming back?
I'll start closing out ads and just shut off my pan.
The best scout barks at you as it picks up an aerosol can and starts spraying down the inside of the bowling shoes.
The best
Because,
scout.
of course, the best scout actually does work at the bowling alley.
That's amazing.
The one time we need trigger fingers galore, the bad scout isn't with us.
So are you heading to the bowling alley
So,
where there's a crowd of people?
So, as a question to my fellow companions and people who have driver's licenses and can drive cars reasonably successfully, is there the potential that you might be a source of contamination?
No, I feel fine. We're good.
You look like you're gonna die. And Kaylee already looks like she died, but now she's starting to die worse.
That's impressive. Listen, we've got to find something to keep me from dying.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is to track down this company or wherever they got this chemical from or whoever took Techno and then make us not die.
What an interesting solution that you have come up with. I don't find that hazardous chemical companies typically have doctors and people who care about other people's lives on site. Instead, I find that they have engineers and people who are around designing plagues of death. So potentially, we might want to see a biomedical expert who might be on the shady side that could assist the people who are dying and also seek to keep us quiet so that way people don't come in and break down our doorways. And the other person who can shoot people and kill people quite effectively, perhaps they should be part of this.
Wait, stop paying attention. I'm driving to the bowling alley.
Excellent news. I approve of your lack of ability to take advice. Kaylee, perhaps you could find a biomedical expert on the dark web. I hear the dark web is a thing.
It is.
It is where I get
Yes,
the
I'll-
treats for the best scout.
Absolutely.
What? The ones that say
real good quality
human?
dog food is a black market item.
It is. It
just
is. It's got actual animal protein in it. Like,
Humans.
ooh, I don't know
And
about
just
that.
a little bit of THC.
yeah.
That is why Kaylee likes to chew on the dog treats. I see.
Yeah, so you're at the bowling alley.
Perhaps the healthy one can go and grab the scout so that way, and the best scout.
Leave the best scout inside. I do not want to risk the best scout contracting this.
Excellent news. Then I will send a spirit in to summon the scout. Not the worst scout or the mediocre scout. The less than good best scout.
The scout that's
The
good at
only
shooting
scout.
people.
The
Okay.
expendable scout.
You've never
All right.
seen the best scout at the target range.
Oh my
I will
gosh, that is true.
I will text Scout. I will send him a text message.
Do not do that. You will poison your own technology. Just use your soul and fetch him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I
start
love how like
honking
any
on the
phone that
horn.
contacts scouts is now infected. Like, how did that
Alright.
become a thing?
So Scout, you hear a horn going off outside, and you see probably blinking the headlights too on the van. The company van is outside.
I will go and grab the scout while trying to avoid people.
Okay.
If I hear the horn and everything, I'll come out and
All right. Well,
say
you meet
hello.
Masu. Steven, make me high or low. Roll a D100.
I will not shake hands with you, Scout, for fear of infecting you with this horrendous contagion. Nonetheless,
That's too high.
Okay.
I said low. I'm pretty sure I said low.
Yes.
So Masu is spitting on you as he's explaining why he shouldn't shake your hand.
Oh, post-COVID world. That's not. Wear a mask, Masu.
We have solved the COVID in China by murdering those who have it. Anyone who was weak enough to get it, they were shipped off into the death camps.
Now hold on there, Nick. I mean, we're using Zoom. We don't want to say anything bad against China while we're on Zoom.
I am saying the superiority of the Chinese system of making sure only the strong survived.
Now we're getting flagged in a different way.
Yes.
There's that too. Okay,
Scout,
Scout, you're out there. You hop in, and Ivan looks like he's got a bad sunburn. He's sweating a lot. Kaylee, she actually got a little color to her skin.
Oh, Kaylee, you
It's
look
just
great.
horrifying. No, I
You're
don't
really
stop.
radiant tonight.
That is
Is that a new lipstick?
technically accurate. If you need me, I'll be digging through Techno G's deck.
Well, as a question to the group, surely Arthur Vogel, who was part of the lawsuit campaign against Hartshorn, had a biomedical expert as part of the team that dealt with this chemical previously. Perhaps we could look at that one person up and see if they still reside in the city and see if they would be willing to take our case of preventing two of our friends from dying.
Yep, that was almost a decade ago. It was in 2048 that all this happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's America's a hellhole. They're not going to move. They have a place here, so we could potentially find them. I mean, Kaylee
think that is actually a great idea. I'm going to climb out of the driver's seat and go up and give Masu a hug because, listen, you're saving our lives here. Thank you so much for that brilliant idea.
Kiss him.
Masu will not know how to react against this. The only person who has kissed him or has ever hugged him was no one. He has never received love. He doesn't understand how to deal with this.
That's
There, you shut him up. Look at that.
all right. So, Kaylee Scout, like Masu said, we could try and hunt this guy down to see if they have a doctor that can possibly cure us. We can see if we can find someone else that can fix the four of us.
Oh, cure. Ivan, you really don't look good.
Yeah, no.
Kaylee, I thought you were joking about that.
No, we're both dying of radioactive poisoning. You may too.
You
Who
are
knows?
too?
Yes. I mean, we're all
Do you
dying
feel okay?
one way or another. I haven't felt okay since what year is it?
I don't know. I don't count.
2057. It's year 2057.
Oh.
It says it on your phone.
Oh, I shut that off, yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. Masu is nothing but helpful, Masu will say.
Or we
Scout
have...
will jump in the driver's seat and start heading towards the hospital.
No, we're not going to the hospital.
People wish for us to die. So therefore, it is perhaps advantageous that we not do this through official channels. Although what I have
Kaylee
seen
is
of-
sick. I'm getting her some help.
I
This
think.
is not up for discussion.
All right.
What?
You put the tracker on the helicopter. That's where we're going.
Oh,
I'll look up
where
the case
people
file for
are
the
highly
lawsuit
armed
against
and capable
Hawkshaw.
of killing us are. Yes, this is a good idea.
All right, Scout, we're going there. That is going to be the best shot that you have of saving Kaylee's life.
Wait, why?
By
Why is a
ending the lives of
helicopter?
others.
Because the helicopter was going to a place. They very specifically took techno and this chemical. They've got this knowledge of some form and probably a way to counteract.
You know who else has knowledge of some form, particularly in biology and medicine? The hospital. Maybe we should go there and see if she can be treated.
Ah, the Murder View Hospital, the one where they only have a 95% death rate if you enter in. Masu perhaps suggests that maybe if we pay for a specialist. But then again, Scout, you are all wise.
Kaylee, what do you think is best?
Kaylee has opened up Techno-G's documents and has been going through it, as is normal for Techno-G, who's always a little bit paranoid. He had started doing some legwork. It looks like the Vogel case against the Hartshorn Corporation actually never went to court. Hartshorn settled out of court after their plant was destroyed.
Ooh.
Techno didn't find out why or how, but their plant was destroyed. There are some news feed articles that he had pulled from the time. Some vague. There was a terror first organization. And when I say terror, TERRA, not terror. So Terra First or Earth First organization. Apparently, there was a shootout. The security forces of Hawkshawn engaged them, and it ended up with the building just being destroyed. The scream sheets, the newspapers at the time said that all the Terra First folks they were all killed in the explosion, as were a lot of the security detail. And then shortly afterwards, Hartshorn settled with Vogel, and that put it into both the corporation and the chemical substance.
Well, so much for finding an expert witness. It seems the whole damn thing was settled out of court, and the plant where it may have been manufactured was destroyed by Terra First.
Oh, that's a bummer. Was it like a ficus or a fern?
Ah,
How did you get that?
using levity humor to heal the sick, much like the celebrated Dr. Patches. I agree.
I get that reference.
Not a fern?
Not a fern.
So, Scout, you're the one behind the wheel. Where are you going?
I was driving towards the hospital, but I did ask Kaylee what she wants to do. Obviously, you can't be treated without consent.
That's not even true now. Come on.
That's what straitjackets are for. I assume that the people who stole what remains of the chemical from Techno-G must have some way of counteracting it in the case of emergency leakage. Perhaps it would be better to track them down, kill them, and take whatever cures they have on them, or track them down, torture them, and find out where such a cure might be manufactured.
I like it.
Okay, so we shouldn't kill or torture people, first of all.
Yes.
I know it's a horrible thing that must be done.
Well, I
I
mean,
appreciate you, Kaylee. You understand the gravity of the situation. You're not just flipping about people dying like some other people. And I look at Ivan.
you're driving. You're driving. Look at the road.
Good eyes on the road.
Technically,
And I'll start driving wherever Kaylee tells me to.
Where are you telling him to go, Kaylee?
Listen to that one, and I'll point to Masu. He's the one with the demon thing on it, the Pokemon on it.
It's an ancient dragon spirit.
Anyway, we're following his tracker. That's where we're going.
The 90s are not that ancient.
They existed before the 90s in spirit. It was not. How do I have to explain this to you? You're an elf. Aren't you one with nature?
Charmanders are not natural creatures. What are you talking about?
Oh.
You guys are talking about Pokemans again?
Yes.
No.
It had a big resurgence in the 2050s because people were actually capturing pocket monsters at the time.
They had to wean them off of actually fishing the sewers for monsters to keep.
Yeah. It was a mess. A lot of children died, mostly orphans. It was fine.
Yes,
It's fine.
So Masu will bring out his Pokemon plushie where he stores his spirits and uses them as channels. It's metaphorical. It's not actual.
Masu plays with dolls. Let's just gloss over that and go on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you succeeded in using the power, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're being led. The source of that particular dragon is leading you. Just basically, it's a kind of a hot cold thing. So you're having Stevens like left, more left. There's a wall there. Slight right, left. And you're heading out of town toward the section of the town where a lot of the old factories used to be. Most of the factories have all shut down. There's very few manufacturing going on anymore, at least here. It's all offshore in the orbitals, places like that. So like this place is, it's a combat zone. Folks come out here to shoot things up and blow things up because, the property has no real value. So you're heading this old factory area, and Kaylee, since you've got Techno G stuff out there, you can't help but notice that you're heading towards the old chemical plant of Hawkshorn Chemicals.
In that case, I'll go ahead and I'll look up the Hawkshorn chemical plant and see if I can't find some sort of information on its layout.
You get the last filed blueprints of the structure, which are well over almost 20 years old, actually, because they didn't file again after they went
I'm sure that there have been a lot
bankrupt.
of lovely little additions that have been made since then too. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So you get the most current blueprints that are in the system. They're a couple decades old. You pick it up, and Masu's leading you right towards the facility that used to be Hawkshorn.
Boy.
Oh, Theodore Roosevelt. I'm glad you decided to join us. So, Scout, do you know any of the local ne'er-do-wells in this area?
No, I'm actually not from this town. I had some contacts back on the West Coast, but that's about it.
Regretful. Could you spot one of the local leaders of the ne'er-do-wells? Perhaps they know something of that which is going on in this chemical plant.
You want me to drive around looking for a gang member?
Yeah.
Actually, you might know. What was your job when you were an officer? What did you work? Were you on gang related? Were you were SWAT, weren't you?
I was just a beat cop.
Oh, you were a beat cop. Okay, so there's a chance. Why don't you make me? This is to see if you remember. Just roll me 3d6. You're trying to make. What is your intelligence score?
It is 11.
It's an 11. Okay, I was going to set the difficulty at 10, so it's going to be you need to make 12 or less, which you did. You rolled a 9. You actually do know the gang that is predominantly the largest group in this area. They call themselves the Reservoir Dogs. They're a bunch of go-gangers. In other words, they're gangers that usually do the Mad Max style of cars and motorcycles, and like to do a lot of drag racing and destruction to other vehicles. But that's the gang that you remember this territory belongs to.
If I remember right, Masu, I think there was a group called the Water Puppies here or something. They dressed in drag a lot.
Well, if you know where we could perhaps find one, the local scouts in the area will know much about what's going on and will be somewhat amenable to tell us for cold, hard cash or the fear of imminent death, whichever one we seek to use.
If you're putting up the money, that's one thing.
Absolutely.
I'm a
not
little
paying
strapped
for
right
it.
now. And also the cold hard death, that won't work either.
I've been blackmailing a studio executive, and that's kind of sapped my finances.
I turned and look at Ivan.
What did I do?
Do you have money, Ivan, that we could bribe someone with?
Yeah, I've got the shitload of money.
Okay, so therefore we have the person who is dying of the plague right now, and he will be. Oh wait, shit. We're vectors. All right, never mind. I do not wish to infect some poor Druklandia.
Why are we off course again? I thought we were going to the place where the tracker was.
Yes, it's right over there.
He started asking about the water puppies, and if I remember right, they got started being a gang because they were into like the Pokemans, like that was their gateway. So you should really be careful, Masu.
I check to make sure my revolver is loaded. I stick it in the holster. I flex my fingers for spell casting. Then I hop out of the van and I'm heading in.
Okay, yeah, you guys are basically parked right outside of this razor wire fence that's got symbols for toxic material, keep out, condemned, the whole, but it's basically there's no guard presence at all. I mean, you don't even think the building has electricity. The padlock that was holding the door shut is just very it's not even locked. Someone had jimmied it at some point, just kind of hung the lock back on. But you're not seeing anyone around until you hear somebody and you look.
Good sign.
Across the street, there's another factory over there, and you see somebody lighting up a cigarette, and it's kind of hunched over a trash can, digging through it. When he looks up over to you, Ivan, looks really sickly. It's like very pale, drawn skin. You see you ever seen what blood poisoning looks like, where you got the little lines of red shooting through your skin? Person does not look good. He looks over at you, digs in the trash can for a minute, pulls out a dead rat, just looks at you as I
have telepathy. I will talk with this person mind to mind.
Okay.
And
I'll scout the area beyond the fence with my drone.
I will say, good evening, citizen.
Okay. So you talk to this person mind to mind, and immediately what happens, this is an ego attack.
Yes.
What is your ego?
13.
Okay, this is only 10, but there's something else going on here. So
I also have magic and mental discipline.
Yeah.
8.
Okay. Well, the first thing that happens is you're just assaulted by just the sense of wrongness. Like you have probably entered the mind of the mentally ill before, just as part of your practice. Mm-hmm. This person is he's quite insane. There are no coherent thoughts. There's just bits and pieces of thoughts that just are like eluding your grasp. Mm-hmm. There's not a clear thought in this person's head, even though he's sitting here devouring like a dead rat. Like there's not any function in the brain going off that he's enjoying what he's doing or anything. Mm-hmm. This is a husk. It looks human, but it's more dead than anything.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so you try and contact them, but there's just not a mind there to talk to.
Okay.
It's like talking to Ivan, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I remember this.
Yes. I guess I will. I will see if I ping him with an image if something comes up in his head.
Okay, what's the image?
Of the chemical little container. To see if he recognizes what that chemical container.
There's not a flash of recognition, but there's suddenly the strong emotion of hunger, of desire, of wanting.
Huh. Okay. So this is probably one of their basic guinea pigs that was destroyed mentally. I will set up a feeling of being taken, of being, restrained and taken against his will to see what that happens to him psychologically, to see if I can picture any mental images that come up.
There's just not enough there to
Okay.
work with. Yeah, it's like it just slides off. There's nothing for these images to really hold on to. There was a reaction to the canister, but it was just very mild and very fleeting.
Okay, well, such is life. Well, he is a husk of a human being. He has nothing for us. It would be kinder and gentler to end him now.
I'm not going to argue.
That's getting into a whole ethics thing. I live and let live.
Interesting philosophy.
He's keeping the rats off the streets, at least.
Well, it was already dead. He didn't kill it.
I'll kind of take Masu aside here. Kaylee has ghoulism. Okay, we're not going to be talking about husks and like devolving kind of thing. Like, come on, you gotta have some tact.
Haley also has superior hearing.
Oh,
These aren't present, but they still work, jackass.
what is this tact that you speak of? Oh, the tact like that we shoved into Techno G's chest to hold the note.
Yeah.
No.
So what are you
Fun
doing,
fact.
Ivan? I mean, you're in front of the gates. They're not really locked. There's just an open padlock holding the chains together.
I look back at my compatriots in the van.
Oh no, we've exited.
Oh,
Man.
still bickering.
No, I'm still in the van. I've got a drone for this.
All right, Gantu, Masu, we're going invisible. And then
His name is Scout.
Scout, I'm sorry, I was looking at the overlay and
Wishing that the Gantu was here, but he's off making business deals.
so Scout, Masu, we're going invisible. So I go ahead and cast invisibility.
So I will ask Scout, does it actually more insulting they remembered the new guy's name and didn't remember yours? Or is it less insulting to you?
Well, you do talk a lot, so it's hard to forget you're here.
I keep trying.
This is
All right, so go ahead and cast your spell.
Now you're going
Yeah.
to be so rude. It hurts.
That's an ego or no intelligence test.
You should have a magic skill.
Yes.
Where?
So you did succeed no matter what.
Okay.
So who do you cover?
Just Scout, Masu, and myself. Kaylee's fine in the van.
Did you buy your invisibility across all spectrums, like including like spirit world as well, or are you visible in the spirit world?
So I've got it listed as affects all ordinary senses, group.
Yeah,
skill
so
based.
ordinary senses. So no,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So you're invisible. What do you guys do?
And just to let the GM know, I do have awareness into the other world on all the time.
Okay.
So if there's something weird going on in the other world, Masu sees much more like colors and splashes, and only the real world as a backdrop, which sometimes leads him into trouble.
Okay.
Like by calling Kaylee a horrific ghoul. All right, let's go.
All right. Yeah. I remove that lock and swing the gate open. I jump back to the side, expecting some kind of trap to be triggered.
No trap to be triggered that you see as you pass through. However, after explaining how your power works, Masu, you see them. There are two spirits that are patrolling the grounds. They look like earth spirits until you get a really good look at them. They've got like just veins of like toxic chemicals going pulsing through them. They're toxic earth spirits.
So
Two of them. They're protecting the grounds.
Do they perhaps look like dogs? That have...
No, these don't.
Oh, okay. So I will say, there are currently 2 spirits that are patrolling the grounds. They look
So they're
like
only visible in the astral.
Yes.
Until they actually present, they actually only affect people in the astral or people that are dual natured. Like everyone here except for Scout.
Yes. I will explain this to the group.
Yeah, they see you. They kind of stop. They're doing kind of like a pattern, like a watch pattern, and then they stop. They kind of rotate and look at you at the same time. They haven't made a move towards you yet, but they're very aware that your group is there.
I will wave. Hello.
And I believe actually Kaylee, I think, also always can see into the astral as well, being a ghoul.
At this point, I've just got the drone following alongside them, so I probably can't see it through the.
Oh, but yeah, this is
eye of the drone.
Yeah, these are magical sights. The drone doesn't see it, but you're aware they're there as well. Ivan would only be if you went astral.
All the more reason for me to stay in the van.
These spirits oftentimes deals can be struck with them, Ivan. Although sometimes they are compelled to do what they do by cruel and horrific tax masters. What would you have us do?
Well, you already said hi. Go up and talk to them.
Okay. Do you have a chunk of your soul that you would like to put on offer?
I'll offer a chunk of yours.
This is disagreeable to me. But nonetheless, I will go and deal. I will say greetings. And I will bow.
Right. What's your speed?
2.
Okay. In which case, give me just a second here. Gotta remember where I put my GM screen.
Yes. Ivan, you are very generous with my soul as I vamp.
You know, I'm a good guy.
Why? Like, that's a remarkable level of delusion you have going on.
Maybe we should all just consider like keeping our souls, all around. Let's just maintain the current soul level.
I wasn't even going to make a suggestion of giving up souls, but he seems so excited about the idea.
Yeah. That for once I wasn't really targeting you there, Ivan. I was kind of talking to Masu.
I know.
I understand how you think you would be the target.
You said you have a speed of 2?
Yes.
Okay, so on segment 1, the attack.
Oh, good lord.
Jeez.
So yeah, normally you're not incorrect that spirits sometimes can be bargained with, and they usually have some intellect, unless they are of the lowest sort that are pressed into service as guardians or spirits. However, not only are these guardians and spirits, but they're quite mad. A toxic spirit is something that's been corrupted, where its very nature has been corrupted. So as you approach, offering kind words and possibly bits of someone's soul, they just attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is very rude.
Yes, indeed. And since you are always seeing into the astral, it means that you can be touched by them.
Indeed.
Okay, so it's basically it's a physical attack because they can touch you. So both of them go on the same initiative. So the first one here is, what is your dex?
Dex is 11.
11, so it's a +1. All right. So they're going to hit you.
Yeah, they will.
Okay. 22 points of knockback. Is that higher than your stun?
Yes, it hurt.
Oh my gosh. You're slammed. Okay, so but it doesn't do much body. It does 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of body. You guys watch Masu go over. Of course, Ivan, you don't see anything. You haven't gone astral. Kaylee's watching from the safety of the van. Masu goes over, gives a slight bow, and then just as he's bowing just slightly, it's like an uppercut from one of these things. It just hits him right on the tip of the chin. There's knock back as well. Not bad. You're basically thrown a few feet back, and you said that was higher than your stun.
Yes.
Okay, but it not higher than your KO value, right?
No, I have 2 points left in my KO.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're stunned. So until you take a full action to become unstunned, that's basically all you can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to be
So
ripped to shreds.
this is segment 2, which you don't go on. Segment 3, both of you go on, but they're of the higher speed. Ivan, what's your speed?
1.
1. You can't act yet either. Kaylee, what's your speed?
1.
Can't act either. Scout, what's your speed?
1.
Oh, no one bought speed but me? How?
I didn't
Because
know I was
I'm a
supposed to.
spellcaster with spells I have to maintain. I don't want to die for maintaining spells.
Gosh.
Okay. So on segment 3, then, the one that just pounded you is going to now make an ego attack against you, while the other one starts heading for Kaylee and the van, because you glow brightly to it, because you also are a dual-natured being.
Ah, jeez.
Yep. All right. So you're probably better off on this one. So what is your ego?
13.
Okay, so 13 is already going to be a -2. And you have mental defense, right?
Yes, I do have mental defense as well.
Okay.
Hey, that's a hit.
No, it's actually not. I said that wrong. So it was actually, you got 3 positive points. So he had to make a 7 or better. So what happens is he kind of goes over your form, this kind of laying dazed on the ground, and you feel like the life being sucked out of you. Like the glowing form just seems to make your body just kind of shrivel. You feel your soul being kind of drawn out. But then your discipline takes over, and you just stop that from happening. The other one's walking towards the van. The van doesn't have any kind of magical protections, Kaylee. So the elemental or the spirit just wades through the van and just reaches out towards you.
Ah, jeez.
What is your dex?
11.
11. Okay, we're evens then. So they need an 11 or less. Got it. He's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And
dang.
yeah, so what happens here? It isn't stopped by the physicality of the van, because there's nothing, no spell protection to the van. However, you are stopped by the physicality of the van. So its spectral fist slams into you, but your very solid body breaks through the seat. The seat just crumbles and you go sailing to the back, smashed up against the van. It's 19 points of knockout. What's your stun?
Ooh, 10.
Okay, so you're stunned. How many points of knockout do you have?
I have 20 max.
So you're almost knocked out, but not quite.
Yeah.
All right, so you're also stunned. Where were you, Scout?
I was outside and invisible as well.
Okay, so you just kind of see Kaylee is just looking through the window. You see this look of horror come across her face, and then she's just kind of wrenched back and just slams into the back of the van very hard, enough that the whole van kind of tilts and rocks a little bit and settles.
Kaylee!
All right,
yeah,
so
I don't see Masu even being hit because he's invisible, right? And I don't even see the spirits.
yeah, exactly right. Segment 4, all of you ones can go.
Oh my god.
I can't
Actually,
do
wait,
much.
no, I'm sorry. Segment 3. Masu, you can become unstunned if you take the full action to
I
do
will
so.
be taking my full action, become unstunned.
Segment 4, you ones can go.
Same.
Again, Ivan, you don't see them
Yeah.
until you go astral. Yeah.
Hey, that's the thing right now. They don't seem to be coming for us because, we're not in that plane. Do feel bad that Kaylee's getting beat up though.
But you can't fireball the van.
I know this is a problem. Yeah, shit, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Because I didn't actually take any powers or skills covering going astral. Because they were expensive.
Well, I mean, as a mage, you can perceive astral. I mean, that we'll just call that color. You can do that. You just
All
have, but yours isn't on all the time.
Right. All right. I'll go ahead.
And I think, didn't you buy like a mana bowl?
I did buy a mana bolt.
Right. So that would affect spirits.
Yeah. All right, then I'll activate that so I can see them.
Mm-hmm.
How much action could I activate that and then
half
shoot?
phase? Yeah, half phase action to activate, and then another half phase to make an attack if you want.
Well, I can't get the mana bolt in the van to help Kaylee.
You can.
Oh,
you
I can. I can shoot through
Mana
it.
bolt's not physical. It's essentially it's an ego attack.
Then that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'll spend my 4 endurance.
Okay.
And then I'll make my attack. What's
your ego?
This is 13. Am I using ego to attack or intelligence?
This is ego to figure out what your hit number is.
Okay.
So you have a 13, they have an 11, so you're +2, so you need to make a 13 or less.
Okay. And I do have a spell casting.
Yeah, so you would roll it on your spell casting.
Well,
if you've got any bonuses to that.
I've got the +1 on that, so I would need to hit the 14 or less.
14 or less.
All right. I get the 13.
Okay, so roll as many dice as you have in that mana ball.
I have 3. That'd be 10.
Okay, 2 body and 10. 10 certainly doesn't stun it. You do a little bit of KO damage and a couple of points of body to it. It knows you're there now, though. It turns around, which is probably good because it's also their turn as well. Although Scout, if you want to have yours before they go, is fine.
Yeah. Scout has no idea what's going on.
No,
he was just walking, and then he heard Masu go "Ooh," or something.
And then
like
you
that.
saw Kaylee fly
and
to
then
the back
the
of the van.
So I'm just gonna turn around and bolt to the van to try and help Kaylee.
Fling open the rear doors, which Kaylee was kind of just pressed against, and she kind of falls out as she's still stunned. Actually, do you go on segment 1 as well? Are you speed 1?
Yep.
Oh, then in which case you can spend a full action to become unstunned.
I will do exactly that. I'll just kind of lay there.
What
and
happened?
Say, ow.
Yep.
Now I'll just
punch
go
me
up and
in the
try to cradle Kaylee protectively.
Okay. Since Ivan did
She
that,
can't say no.
the elemental turns away from Kaylee and floats through the van heading towards Ivan. They move fairly slow, Ivan, but he is going to make a magical attack against you. What did you say your ego was?
13.
So -2. So he doesn't got a great chance to do this. Yeah. Same thing. You feel like the creature is trying to just eat your soul energy, but it's just not able to. You're more disciplined than it is. But it is getting closer to you. The second one that was still inside the perimeter is continuing to walk its perimeter. It's keeping an eye on you. It's rotating its head, but it's not joining in the combat. It seems like it feels its fellow is doing just fine. So that was segment 4. So we're on segment 5. They go again. So the elemental's just getting closer to you. So I'm going to say on segment 6, it's going to be in melee range of you, but you don't go any more this round, Chuck. So it's going to get to you at the end of this. All right.
And,
so go ahead.
Masu X
on 5. Yes.
Yes. So Masu will perform an ego attack against it. Masu's ego is 13. So
he's got an 11. So you're +2.
Well.
Wow, that's a fail.
Yeah. Wait. Rolling 3Ds. That's okay.
Did it roll wrong?
I don't know. The Yeah. Yes, it rolled absolutely wrong. So I rolled a total of a 6. So,
Yeah, I was going to say you rolled a total of a 6, so yeah, that succeeds.
And
Right.
this is where I do my lethal telepathy attack against it.
Sure. Yeah, roll those dice. Don't forget to mark off the endurance. It's a
Yep.
point for every 5 active points of your power.
Yep.
And are you attacking the one that's fairly leaving everyone alone, or the one that's approaching?
No. Yes, Bird. I'm going to draw in another.
Well, I mean, it's approaching Ivan.
Yeah,
you might
yes.
want it to finish Ivan off.
This
I'm
is-
not judging. I'm
this
not
is
judging.
fair. Nonetheless, yes, I'm afraid I might die. So I will do that. That's my half action. 18 points of lethal damage. Draw it, whatever.
Okay, so 18 points of knockout, and you do 2, 4, 5, 6 points of body.
Yep.
It already took some body, so that's enough to discorporate it. Yeah, it just kind of stops for a moment and then just kind of dissolves into its constituent parts, which is mud, stone, and glowing ooze.
Then I will be turning on my force field that is persistent and take the endurance for that as well.
Okay. So break in the combat as the only other creature is kind of rounded the corner out of eyesight. The one guardian is down before it reached you, Ivan.
Good.
All right, I'm going to destroy that one now because I don't like his face.
Okay, so it rounded the corner. So do you want to go after it?
Yes.
Okay, so
Don't you want to wave and say hello first?
So we're
I
gonna
still
we're gonna
have some
take
soul left. Why don't you feed it?
yeah. So we're gonna take a moment then as Masu goes after it. The rest of you guys that took damage there. So Kaylee, if you want to take a recovery, you can take
Sure.
the number of points you have in recovery. You can add back to your KO,
Hooray.
and 1 body point can come back
Can anyone do that?
if you're damaged. Yeah,
I am going to do that then.
take a recovery.
That is good to know because I was down KO from last fight.
Mm. Oh, last fight, you're fine now. Then
Okay.
yeah, just put yourself back up to full.
Cool.
All right, Masu. We're going to start on segment 4 because that's the first. Wait, no, you're at 2, right? So we're going to start on segment 3. It's the first segment you can act on since you went after it. It really didn't care about you.
Yeah.
It's basically doing the rounds. You turn around the corner, you see it. What do you do?
I am going to try to invade its mind and rip it to shreds.
All right.
And
Same
I
numbers.
am going to
Oh,
fail.
baby, look at that. What?
So I go
Oh,
"Eek,
dang.
eek, eek," with a
Okay.
17.
Which means that on also acts on this segment.
Yep.
It turns around. It sees that you're a threat, and you could have taken a recovery segment too. By the way, you may need it. It is going to forget this ego nonsense. It is going to bash you.
Yep,
Bash you,
that's fair.
but good. Yes.
Yeah.
What's your dex?
It is 11. So
So it's evens. It fails. Yeah. So this big fist in a slow arc just smacks into the side of the building, goes through a little bit because it's spectral.
Yep.
That is segment 3.
Yep.
So segment 4, it goes again.
Yep.
The rest of you guys, you also go on 4. So Masu went around the corner. He's out of sight. What do you want to do?
He's invisible anyways.
Yeah, that's true. He's chasing after that one. I think we just keep exploring.
Front doors.
Are you
right
okay,
there.
Kaylee?
I'm fine, thank you. Why don't you come here and let me breathe on you a bit, just in case you're not infected?
I was already right there next to you. Not worried about it.
All right, get off me then.
As long as you're okay.
All right, so you're splitting the group. So Ivan and the rest of you guys get to the front door. It's of course mag locked. Normal office doors, though, it's a glass door. You can kind of see inside. You can see that there's a lot of furniture and equipment that's been just covered up. It's just covered in thick dust, although you can see footprints in the dust. Must be fairly recent, as they're very clear. Masu, let us continue. Segment 4, it goes.
Yes. One thing that I forgot to do was the activated power. That would have been a half action
Yep.
as well.
Half action. Go ahead.
Yep. And it's just
Again, it's going to try and beat you with its fist. Also misses.
Yep.
So that was segment 4. So segment 5, you can go.
Yep. I will try to wrench its mind open. Bam. And submit 14.
Miss.
14 will sit.
Oh yeah, well, because you've got a +2.
Yep. So all right, 13 points.
Wow. And how much body? That's 2, 3, 4 points of body. Okay. Yeah, it's not nearly enough to stun it. You do a little bit of body damage to it.
Yep.
So we move on to segment. Oh well, it's turn on segment 5. It again just trying to smash you. It's really slow though.
Yep.
It doesn't move very fast, but that's fast enough.
That is fast enough.
17 points of knockout.
Fortunately, I have a couple of things. I do
Yeah.
have a 8 force field
Mm-hmm.
that blocks all damage, and
And then don't forget your
regenerate-
defense. Yeah.
I did regenerate my
2, 3,
body.
4, 5 points of body,
5 points body.
minus any resistant defense you have.
Yes, which is all of it. So
Okay.
Num 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 num. I say.
Okay. Which brings us to the last segment, which it goes, and you do not.
Very fast. For the slow spirit, it goes so fast.
Yeah, well, that's going to miss.
Yep.
Okay, you guys are at this front glass doors. Again, you can see clear footprints in the dust, but the door is locked. Doesn't look like it has power, so it was mag locks. Once they require power to lock and unlock, there's no key. So what do you want to do?
Well,
I'll knock on the door.
okay.
You knock on the door. Okay. There's no answer, but the knocking on the door tells your experienced ex-officer, that this is bulletproof glass. This is ballistic glass. Not surprising. Most businesses use it these days.
I'll go to kind of bump Ivan on the shoulder, say, let's go around, but I'm facing the wrong direction because we're still invisible. Let's try walking around the building, I guess, and we
Alright.
can't break in.
Well, we'll walk around the building to see if there's another option, but we're going in there.
Okay.
Let's get around the building.
You're going to go the opposite side of the building that Masu went. You're not hearing any screams yet, so you figure
I
he's
have-
got to be fine.
I have no idea where Masu went. I don't have astral
That's true.
vision.
Yeah. So Ivan, which would you go around the same direction because
Yeah.
you would know, or
Yeah,
you do? Okay.
I'll follow Scout. Whatever Masu's doing, he's got it under control.
Which direction does Scout go, left or right?
Right.
Okay, so you turn the corner. Since everyone's invisible and you don't see Astral, you don't see a bleeding thing. The rest of you do, though. Right. So segment 1, new round. It's going to punch you again.
Mm-hmm.
Punch, punch, punch. It says.
Yeah. It's not very cool. That's actually good.
Yeah.
All right. 21. Use your shield and your defense to drop that down, but it is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of body.
Yep.
Resistant defense, and your shield will get rid of some of that.
Yep. All right. So my shield, 2 defensive points per 5 power points. I had dumped 20 power points.
So Masu's facing it down, Ivan, and Kaylee, you both see this. He's in a slugfest with this thing.
Can I just shoot a mana bolt over there to give him a hand?
You can in 2 more segments.
Okay.
So you're going to go on segment 3. It doesn't go on 2. So go
Okay.
ahead. Not you, sorry, Nick. Segment 3, and then you'll go on 4, Ivan.
All right. So I will try to mana bolt, or I do not a mana bolt, but I will succeed.
That hits. Yeah.
And I will try to disincorporate it before Ivan can claim credit. For the love of God. Help. It is a 16.
16, that's 2, 3, 4 points of body, which is enough. Same thing. Yeah, you discorporate it. It falls into wire, brick, mud, and green oozing, probably radioactive chemical.
Yes. I will bow to the spirit and say, may in the next life you be reincarnated to be something better and face a better fate than what you have.
Pardon me for just 1 second, guys.
Yeah. So
I always forget how long Bert's hair is.
he's very long. He's got a lot of hair.
I'll fly my drone over to Masu and say, well, I'm glad you survived.
I am as well.
So when the real dog paws at the door, you let him out, or you get poop on the carpet.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay. So there doesn't seem to be any other guardians about. As you round the corner, now that your focus is a little bit wider, Masu and Ivan, you see the end of a helicopter that apparently just landed behind the building. So you see the back end of the rotors.
Oh, well, let's go investigate that.
Still
The whole
invisible.
time Ivan and Masu were fighting this thing, Scout was just walking forward because he had no idea.
Yeah, he almost ran into everything. You round the corner. The helicopter is there. The side doors are open. There is a mess in the cockpit where it looks like the pilot just exploded. There's just guts and blood all over the inside of the cockpit. And there are bodies laying out of the cargo door that slid aside. They
Seeing
look
this with
like
my
they've-
drone, I'll begin to make my way to the building.
Yeah, the bodies look like they've been torn apart, chewed on, and spat out.
Mm,
I wonder if it was the autopilot that.
Kaylee got a good vision of them through her drone when they were making their escape. These are the same people.
Oh, snap. That's terrifying.
I'll definitely
Um,
run up and check to see if anyone might still be alive. Anything.
You pick it
Any
up
sort
an
of
arm
survivors.
to check the pulse, but you literally
no,
just
I-
lift up an arm.
The
with
people that
nothing
are a little more
attached to it.
intact.
There's nothing intact. The pilot looks like the body just exploded. There's just everything is just raining down on the glass and inside. The 3 bodies that were in the hatch area are just torn apart. Like you see, this literally like they were dismembered. You actually see like chew marks and bite marks on them.
We need to call the police. This is a crime scene.
hey, I don't think so.
But there is a back door that's opened.
So no sign of techno.
Well, no,
You think
techno.
Techno ripped these people apart?
Well, no, we dropped techno off.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah, we
And they stole the chemical.
yes. So I'm going to be looking for the signs of the chemical. Is there the bag that we placed the chemical in?
Oh, you don't see it at
Okay.
all.
So-
Kaylee,
Yes.
you're starting to feel worse.
jeez.
Permanently reduce your body by 1.
Uh-oh. That's not good at all.
Ivan,
Yeah.
you still look like you got a sunburn and you're running a fever, but you're fine.
All right. I can handle that.
Scout. It's looking a little sunburned himself.
It affects the metahumans plus evil.
I do
humans.
burn easily though.
It's true.
Yeah.
We know this because Ivan's constantly casting fireballs around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for the whole Caribbean episode, I had the zinc on my nose.
Mm.
Oh, this chemical might sense evil. That might be what's going on. It's a moral chemical. Scout, although you seem to like you're a reasonably good person for an American.
Try to be.
Eucasian.
Yeah.
There's no America.
Listen, Do you think Masu is up to the latest political developments here? They're all Americans. All white people and green people and knife ears in this area, they're all Americans.
Yeah. What do you think about the oh heck, what do they got? So UCAS is the United Canadian. Yeah.
What do I think
And
about
there's the CAS, which is just the Confederated American States, and then there's the NAN, the Native American nations.
Yeah, he calls them all Americans. He doesn't.
Oh no,
he doesn't understand the differences.
I
okay.
don't understand how that could start a bar fight anywhere.
So back doors open.
If Scout sees the back door open, he would want to go in, check to see maybe there are survivors in there.
Okay.
If we could get Kaylee, I will telepathy over to Kaylee and be like, yo, perhaps you can check the flight computer because whoever got off probably jumped off early, got on here, worked out, jumped off early, and then put it on autopilot to here.
At this point, I'm now entering the building and collapsing to my hands and knees. One, because I'm tired, and two, because, oh my God, look at this feast. Oh,
stomach growls. Oh.
I'll be digging through stuff. And also while I'm digging through stuff and, chowing down, I'll be looking for like shotguns and all
their tactical gear is still here. Also,
yeah.
the same number of people that assaulted Techno-G's DOS are here. Like this is everyone accounted for.
The group.
This is the group. Yeah.
Right. But there could have been someone in the Hello chapter that didn't leave and who got it and then went, oh, let me be all Joker and murder everyone who worked for me so that way they don't report on me, and then fly the helicopter back here so that way that my track is not dealt with. And in addition, they have the ability to go into the astral. We know this. So the chances that they didn't see a tracker that was a gigantic dragon chasing them is
The
somewhere.
dragon is just hanging out. It's kind of like curled around the tail of the chopper, looking at you like, what took you so long?
Yeah, I was like, no, sorry, dude. Here, come back into the Charmander.
Kaylee, remember to stay home for dinner. I've got reservations for that steakhouse.
I won't need it.
Kaylee succumbs. She's been eating that synth flesh for so long now, just cannot. Starts gorging.
If I smell teriyaki, I'm gonna puke.
All right, I will be following Scout into the building.
Kaylee, if you're chowing down on the bodies, take that body point back.
Oh, good.
You start feeling better.
I knew I would. That's all I needed.
You were just hangry.
Yeah.
Ghoul's hangry. It's a bad thing. Wide open door. This is kind of like a back office that you've kind of gone to. Desks, furniture, everything's covered in just a huge layer of dust and grime. It doesn't look like anyone's been using it, but clear set of footprints going further down into the dark hall. No lights on again, no electricity.
I'll do the classic flashlight pistol cop maneuver and head down the hallway.
Masu,
End our invisibility.
And your invisibility. Okay.
yeah, Masu will just be walking like he's promenading down, following the Scout, making his careful footsteps. Like, yes.
Okay. You guys follow the footprints. It's just one set, and it goes through what used to be like a warehouse. You still see several crates. Some of them have a radioactive symbol on them. You know, it doesn't look like they've been touched in a very long time, though. And you go to like, it looks like it used to be like the company break room. There is power to this room. As you come up, you see that it's got a solid steel door. You see the light on the mag lock on, active. You also see some cameras.
Kaylee?
Kaylee? It has a
Oh.
plug. That means it's you.
Yes.
Sorry. I'll scoop up. I'll grab what was it they were using? Submachine guns.
Yeah.
I'll get a submachine gun and an extra arm, and I'll come in.
There's a shotgun, a street sweeper in
hell
there as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Start quoting Rambo to myself and start heading over to hack into the cameras.
Oh, you got a shotgun to be like me. That we're matching now.
God damn it. And I'll throw it down and I'll go get a submachine gun.
Scout, brother, I know you're thirsty. I know you're thirsty, but there's got to be somebody else for you.
Unfortunately, she's in prison. I'm trying to get her out.
I'm sorry, Scout.
Masu, you're new. You don't know this, but we had a moment. Okay. So there's history.
But there's history with the American Empire. And we know how that ended in a horrific breakup. I do not see better for you, my friend.
All right. You call everyone an American. So like maybe don't be offering too much relationship advice. All right.
That's true. I'm not even American.
There's different white people besides Americans?
Yes.
I'm green.
I'm Russian.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ivan's Russian.
But aren't the Russians also American?
By Ronald Reagan's
Kaylee,
ghost, I am going to
what do you got
incinerate
with
you.
these cameras?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
start plugging into the cameras and seeing what I can find.
Sure. Just make your hacking roll.
All right.
It's going to go off of your ego. What's your ego?
My ego is 13.
Okay,
Also, I got +5 for security systems.
Oh, +5. So technically 18. So you need to make a 14 or less on 3 dice.
All right.
You got it.
Yep.
You get in. It's a pretty secure mag lock, but it's not like you haven't seen this kind of mag lock before. It's pretty, it's high quality, but it's just something you can buy off the shelf. So boop.
It's not as technology, that's for sure.
No. Mag lock disengages, the door opens in, and you guys see that this conference room has been used. Honestly, to Ivan's eyes, it looks like a shamanic lodge. There's like with neon paint, there are all kinds of symbols and sigils all over the floors and walls and ceilings. In the very center of the floor is a very ornate circle, a summoning circle. You know, Ivan, seen them before. You also know, and so does actually everybody that can see astral, that it's active.
Oh.
There's also a bunch of paperwork.
That.
And there's a bunch of paperwork on a table on the other side of the summoning circle. Circle, basically, it's a rectangle of a room. The circle takes up the entire middle from edge to edge. And then on the far side is a desk that's got a whole bunch of paperwork. There's a light on, and you can tell that this room's clean other than the sigils everywhere. Someone's been working in here. No sign of anyone in here currently, though.
Scout's good with paperwork. He'll go check out the hard copy.
Hey, to do that, you've got to cross the summoning circle. You gonna do it?
Ivan, is this okay to walk over?
Hug the wall and try not to step on any of the lines or inside of it. So just do a little hop from along the wall.
I'll do that.
As Masu will say, Scout, please don't do that. It's not so much like it's the lines, they go up into infinity. So therefore, if you put a single pinky toe past the line, you have entered the magical circle and you are going to trigger it. You can't just hop around it. What kind of American college?
I walk into the circle.
Ivan walks into the circle. Ivan, you feel the hairs on your head stand up as you do break the current. You knew it was active, but you pass through the other side just fine. No ill effects. You go to the desk. You notice that there are a bunch of campaign posters and slogans and ads for a particular candidate, Vogel.
Okay.
As well as it looks like whoever was in here has gotten a hold of the presidential hopeful's itinerary for the next month.
And Vogel,
they're-
he had ties to the chemical initially, right?
He's the one that lodged the lawsuit that got them. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a lawyer back in the day.
He's part of the Greenpeace movement.
Yes.
And
Yes, he
so
is.
therefore he's part of the evil people who are shutting down industries.
All right. I'll take it
Although-
back over once I make sure I gather everything. Yeah.
While you're looking at it. So you pass through just fine. Everyone else is just kind of watching. And there's something really odd about the center of that circle that Ivan just walked through. You can't place it at first. Like there's just something wrong. And then a 3-headed dog just kind of comes out of a shadow. Just it starts with just a snout, a second snout, a third snout, as this dog just moves its way through.
Scout,
Can I make a
Now-
presence
Still
attack
shoot it.
against it to disrupt it?
Do you have a power that has presence attack attached to it?
I thought presence attack was just a basic deal that I could do.
No, you have to have a power unless you're just, well, you can do a presence attack to persuade or terrify or something like that.
Yeah.
If that's what you're
I
wanting.
don't want to actually like deal damage to it. I just want to sway it,
Okay.
or at least attempt to.
Yeah. So one steps out and you say what?
Nah, go on, get out of here. Get.
Bad dog. Bad dog. Okay. Well, it has an ego of 13. What's your ego?
13.
Okay. So 11 or less on 3d6.
Hey.
Nice.
I didn't see the roll. What did you roll?
7.
7. Okay. Okay. Let's do you don't have any specific power. So let's do sorry, you said your ego was 13?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll 3d6 for me.
All right.
We're going to do this as an effect. Okay, so 3 body, 9 total. Yeah, it pauses. It sniffs the air. It kind of looks at you, confused for a moment. And then a second one comes out of the shadows.
Huh.
And a third one.
Masu will bow to the creatures and say, "Greetings, honorable creatures. My name, you may call me the fledgling phoenix. Maybe
I
a
haven't-
parlet.
Masu's running his yap again behind you. And to this point, you don't know what's going on. You turn around and look,
Yeah.
and there are these three-headed hellhounds that are.
I
in
did
that
say I was
circle.
going to try and shoot it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ah, good.
What do I do? for
Diplomacy. Fire.
So it's 3d6. Your dex. What is your dex?
that? 11.
Okay, there's is 15. So you're at a 4-point deficit. Did you have a skill at being able to shoot better?
Shooting shit +4.
Plus 4. Okay, well that makes up the deficit. So you're 11 or less on 3d6. Okay. You shoot, and it just misses. It's like it's got 3 heads. You weren't sure which head to go for. So it goes wide. I'm going to give you that free before anything else happens. Let's say that the first dog comes out when you do that, then the second, then the third. Ivan turns around and sees what's going on after you make the shot. Like, what the heck? All right, and then we're on. These are not all that fast, though. So segment 1, it's got a speed of 3, so it doesn't go. And nobody here has a speed better than 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. So on
There you go.
segment 2, they go.
Mhm.
There's 3 of them, three-headed dogs. Oddly, none of them go for Ivan, but they do all break. One goes for each of the rest of you.
I said hello. Stop.
Yep. And you notice that all 3 heads have like dog collars on them. and they kind of are laced through with that kind of green glowing chemical.
Oh my gosh, we're dealing with people who like toxins. It's American internet trolls.
Yep. Scout, what's your dex?
11.
11. They got a +4 on you then, so they just need 15 or less. It's going to hit. It's going to hurt, but I think you've got armor and stuff. All right, so it's only 11 points of knockout, but what is your defense?
11.
It does nothing. It's going to have a little bit of body, maybe. Do you have resistant defense?
I don't think so.
Do you have any armor? Or did you take a force field power?
I'm wearing body armor.
You're wearing body armor. Okay.
That would have some resistance.
1, 2. It's only 2 points of body, so it's all absorbed by your body armor. So literally, this thing, all three, like bite into your arms and your torso, but you've got armor there. So it's just kind of it's kind of shaking as it's got your gear, but not you. Let's see how our Rockstar does. What's your dex?
My dex is 11.
Your dex, well, we'll do Masu. Yours is 11. So
Oh, you said you're going to do the rock star. I assume you meant me. I apologize.
Okay, they hit.
Yep.
You still have your force field up?
Yep. It's a persistent effect.
Are you paying end on that, or is
No,
it
you pay
endurance free? Okay,
Yeah, the persistent effect gives it. I have to pay for the initial cost, and then it's free.
and then it's free. Okay, fair enough. Okay, 18 points of KO minus any kind of defense you've got,
So it neutrals itself out.
and then 4 or 5 points of body. Resistant defense will just go against that.
My resistant defense eats out.
Okay. So what does your shield look like?
So it basically I have a shimmering swirls that go about my body, and occasionally it will resolve itself into a dragon that looks with eyes that blaze with hatred towards the outside world, and then it will fade back into itself.
So the dog doesn't actually touch your physical being at all. It's kind of just kept at bay. Unfortunately, Kaylee, what's your dex?
Also 11.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, we all took base dex.
Okay. So that hits as well. What's your defense?
10.
Okay. So you're going to take 13 KO, but it would all come back by now. So just put yourself back up to normal. Take 13 off of that. Do you have any resistant defense?
No.
So that's 7 body.
All right.
So that's the part that's going to hurt. That does kind of tear into you some. Are you still up with 7 body off?
I am. Yes.
You are. Okay. So Ivan, they're completely ignoring you and going after your friends, leaving you with all this paperwork on the table. You notice as you glance down on the itinerary, there are a couple, there's one date that's circled and there's some notations around it. What do you do?
I tell these dogs, heel, sit, bad dog.
All right. Do you have any power, or are you just trying to command it out of your force of will?
I'm just out of my force of will.
What's your ego?
13.
Okay. So 9 or less on 3d6.
I rolled a 13.
Yeah. They're not listening to you. Unless you got a particular skill with animal handling.
No, I don't.
No, they're not listening to you.
Okay. I've got all the papers. I'm going to grab them and just stuff them in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Masu?
I will be. So I am going to do 2 things. I am going to cast concealment. And I will pay the ego to activate that. And then I will cast a persistent image.
Okay.
And I am going to cast a persistent image of a very luscious green, like almost holy earth spirit that looks like a giant rabbit. And I'm going to have it run away from the dogs.
Okay.
and that is
Don't roll for that. But
Yep.
here's what happens. Like you do that, and the dog looks like the most happy puppy you've ever seen on all three of its faces. And it looks like it wants to go off and play, but something happens to that collar. It's
Okay.
like it shocks the dog, and it's like, oh. And then it goes back to being very much on you. But that's enough to make it not have a round of action this time.
Yep.
So next segment is 4, so all of you ones can go. Kelly,
I'll
Seeing
keep
that,
shooting.
anybody.
I'll wait for the shot to go off first.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
you're
just
gonna shoot again.
The one that was biting my
Okay,
chest.
so it's still attached to you. What kind of gun do you have?
I had my shotgun and
Okay.
I said I had my pistol out actually, so I'd be using the pistol.
So it's right on you. So it's actually very easy just to shove your pistol up into it now and pull the trigger. So what is your dex?
11.
11. Okay, so you're going to need to, I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm not going to give, I'm basically not going to give it its dex because it's trying to hang on to you. So you just kind of just stick it center mass and pull the trigger. So really, just don't roll an 18.
I get a +4 as well for shooting.
Yeah. So you're good. You hit. This is a pistol, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be 4d6. I assume that you've got a big pistol, like what are the Predator 4s or 5s, something like that. All right, so you're going to do 50
yeah, it
points of
was
stun.
Predator.
So 2, 3, 4, 5 points of body. You pump around into it. It whimpers, it bleeds. It doesn't look very happy, but then you see those collars kind of light up. It looks like it wants to run away, and those collars light up, and then it refocuses on you. Kaylee, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to use the bone in my snacking arm to try to jab at the collar on the dog head attacking me to try to disable it.
Sure. We'll do it as it's a melee attack. You've got 11 dex. Go ahead and roll.
All right.
This is the one trying to chew on you, so it's going to be easier to do that as well. So I'm going to say you just need to make a 13 or less. You got it.
12. All right. Yeah.
You snap the collar off one of the heads. That dog immediately, or that head immediately starts trying to drag the body away from you. It's whimpering, it's crying, it's using its paws to kind of scratch its neck where that collar is. So you have distracted it.
Hooray.
Okay. Ivan, what are you doing? You're still fine. And they don't seem to be interested in you on that side of the circle.
Yes, but after seeing what Kaylee just did, each of the heads of these dogs has a collar on it, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pull out... crap, I don't have anything good. I'm going to run up right behind this thing and try and point blank Manibolt and collar off.
Okay. How did you buy Manibolt? Is it
Manibolt's piercing endurance skill base. So the only specialty I've got on it is piercing.
okay? I thought you bought it only. Okay. Yeah, good enough. Go ahead. Roll your spellcasting.
All right. And this will be 14 or less.
You got it.
I roll a 14. And then
However many dice you have in the power.
12.
Okay, so 12, son. Which one did you go after?
the one that was on Kaylee.
The one's on Kaylee. Okay.
I'm going because she got one collar off. I'm trying to blast off a second collar.
So you're going for the collar specifically.
Very
Then I'm
specifically.
gonna, yes, 3 points of body. You break the collar. 2 heads overrule the third, and like one paw still tries to go after Kaylee, but the rest of the dog is just heading out to the open maglock door.
Okay.
So there's still 2 left. That was segment 4. So segment 5, Masu, that's you.
Given I want to try something, Bert. And if I fail, I will just burn half my action. But I will try to do a telepathy attack against the collar itself.
It's the collar itself. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see if I can trace inside the mind of the dog where the collar is and see if I can't create a feedback loop against that collar. All right.
The one that's on you, I assume.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have an 8 against that, and then it's a 5d6 roll. So
yeah, just go ahead. Yeah. It's got no defense. The item doesn't.
So 20 points of damage against
it's the body is the effect we're looking for those. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of effect. I'm just gonna roll a d6 here. 6 points of effect. Okay, so yes, you tap into it. I'm going to say that basically that one attack reduces it so that another attack can do what you want. But what this one does is you break through its defense. The collar is controlling the dogs. The dogs do not want to be here. The collar is what's keeping them here.
Yes.
So you have broken through the collar, what little defense the collar have. Another such attack next round will get all the way through. But there you go.
That is what I've done. And then for my other half action, I will touch Kaylee. Kaylee, you now have regeneration upon you. Roll a when you recover, you get to roll an additional d6 worth of recovery points.
Yep. To recover takes up a full segment action. So that was 5. So segment 6, they go. You've got all of them distracted, so they do nothing. So the next one up is going to be
them.
Segment 3. And Noitzi, back to you again.
All right.
2 rounds of distraction. So
all right.
What do you do?
Well, then I will do a telepathy attack against them. I say 9, and I destroy some collar. So whatever.
Actually, you override it. So like you have this connection from the collar to the dog now, which you can put in your own command.
Yes, I will tell it to heal, and then I will give it a persistent image for my other action of a dog bone that it can be gnawing on.
Dog sits down at your feet, not a problem. Segment 1 or segment 4, so all you ones can go.
I'll go and try and disable or just
other
pry
collar?
off the last collar. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just make me a 3d6 roll. That's good enough. You just actually reach around and unhook the collar, which is enough. Yeah, dog doesn't want to be here, which leaves just Scout with one on him that you put a bullet
I'm still
into.
Blasting at him. I hate dogs.
Yeah, you really can't miss unless you roll an 18, which is always a failure.
So I started blasting.
Yep. So 3d6, you're fine. Go ahead and do your damage.
We said 46 for damage.
Yeah. Fairly powerful. I'm good. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5 body, 18 stun. Okay. That knocks it out. It's not dead, but it's out.
I keep shooting.
Okay. It's
Okay.
dead.
Well, I will cast regeneration on the dog so that way it will come back. I do not.
I am emptying my clip and pulling out the shotgun.
It's an innocent animal.
So at the end of the round, Kaylee, if you want to take that recovery, you can take benefit of that spell he cast, which is an additional
D6.
And then, so roll a d6, you get that much plus 1 body back. So 4 body.
3 plus 1 body. All right.
Okay. It's quiet. Seems like that was the last defense here. Ivan, you've got a handful of these papers for Mr. Vogel.
This.
Yeah, and a very I mean, you got to imagine that a presidential hopeful, their itinerary isn't something that people should be getting their hands on.
I also need to look at it to see these markings that you've mentioned.
Yeah. So it's got a mark on a particular day next week on a Wednesday. He's holding a rally at the Superdome. And that's where the mark is.
Well, and I'll convey and share this with the group. My thoughts is he's going to be making, and whoever is responsible for this is going to be making this toxic style attack at that rally. So maybe we don't go there.
We should definitely tell the proper authorities, have them enact.
Well,
better
Absolutely,
security
we
measures.
should let the proper authorities handle.
Well,
I agree.
wait. So, just as a counterpoint to this, whoever convinced Techno-G to go do this set him up such that someone was going to find this, follow this back to here, and then find this note for Vogel. It seems like it stinks to high heaven. And if we give this over to a bunch of Aries guys, that all they're going to do is to go thump their chest a couple times and go, looks like a case of suicide to me, Doc. And that's what they're going to mark it down as. So I think that perhaps
I'm more concerned about the innocent people at the rally that might have a bioweapon.
Oh,
that doesn't concern me that they mark it down as a suicide.
Well. So the thing that I am concerned about is that this seems to be too bright a trail to follow. I would be very interested into figuring out where that autopilot in that helicopter dropped someone off at, because it dropped somebody off there.
Did it?
The toxic chemical is missing. That toxic chemical had to go somewhere. So,
well, the lock to this place was broken open and then just reconnected. Maybe they landed here and they were doing their thing and someone else showed up and liquefied the people inside. Or maybe the chemical inside caused someone else to go like cuckoo fucking bananas and just splatter everyone else.
but they would have come out of the helicopter fighting us, because the helicopter just landed.
But the
So
back
the
door was open.
I'll ask the helicopter.
Well, no.
what it
So, Nick, it
knows.
wouldn't be just landed, because you guys
Okay.
did take the detour to the bowling alley to pick up. So
Okay.
it's been a bit.
Okay, that's fair. And we could ask the helicopter. Maybe I was going off of a wrong assumption there. But asking the helicopter whether or not this is the only place it went to, I think, is a valid concern.
I will ask the helicopter. You ask Charmander.
Yeah.
I will say that I was right and that we should have just gone directly to the hospital because there's no cure here.
There's not. No, there's not.
I think Kaylee has found her own cure. Not going to help Scout, though. Scout, drop a permanent body point.
Oof.
You're not feeling good. You are not feeling good at all.
You're looking rough, man. Maybe you should eat some people like what Kaylee's doing.
Masu does not support this line of thought. Cannibalism is the mark of the beast and of the lowest of.
Kaylee,
I think there's the beast right there, so we're good.
Kaylee,
They are good.
make me your hacking test to get into the chopper's nav system. You do have two. Well, one of them ran, so you've got one live 3-headed dog here, one hellhound.
I am going to be talking to it in its mind space to see what it can give me of the person who collared it, and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. How'd you do, Kaylee?
I rolled an 11. I do have I've got 13 intelligence, and I do have a skill in computer programming and another in
Okay,
security
not a
systems,
problem.
another in technical.
You
so
pull its nav data. So from the last 2 hours, this is it. It went from where they assaulted you at Techno G's and then here, nowhere else.
Huh. And does the fuel usage compute with that?
Yeah, everything
just-
matches up.
Yeah.
Does it have some sort of a camera or security system feed internalized?
No, because it is a Black Ops chopper.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
kind of what I was afraid of.
No internal. You're actually lucky it has a nav system that hasn't wiped itself
Oh, wait,
already.
what is its fuel looking like?
Mostly full.
Oh, hell yeah, we got an attack chopper.
You are out of your blessed mind.
I really like this. That's fantastic.
This is horrific.
You just gotta
This'll
clean the
make it
guts
out of
out of
the
the
I was going to say,
Siege.
we just got
So
to
you can
hose
see
the
out.
inside down and we're good to go.
Oh, it's fine.
Do they have a fly-through car wash we could take it?
Masu, make me whatever you use as a spellcasting roll if you're going to speak to this dog.
Right as I managed to hit something else. All right. Roll 3d6. 14 is my target number.
Okay.
So yes.
So the dog is it's pretty frightened. It's been mistreated, but you get a clear image of the person who enslaved it. So you have no idea who the person is, but you get a very clear mental image of the person.
Okay. All right. So I am
Human, probably in their late 40s. Looks pretty disheveled.
I will project that as an image so that way Kaylee can take a picture of the image of this guy and then do a search of it.
Okay.
That sounds like a great plan.
That's actually pretty cool. Okay, so Kaylee, you've seen that page, you've seen that face before. You go back, you hit Technogy's data stack, looking through the information that he'd pulled up. So in the newspaper, or in the scream sheet, whatever you want to call it, the Terra First organization was reportedly to a man. They were killed during this explosion of the chemical factory. And they showed photographs of all the members. That's one of the members.
Shocking.
Oh boy.
Yeah. A newspaper being wrong? No.
Well, that's terrifying. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll point to this and say, yeah, this person is legally deceased. Unfortunately, that means something bad is really happening here, and I don't like it.
Aren't like 3 of you legally deceased?
Well,
Several times.
yes, like I'm legally deceased, but I told people that that was the case. But
Yes. So
in this case, it's the people telling us that that's the case, and just like I lied to others, they're lying to us.
yeah, I mean, you are a culture that honors nothing before money and fame.
And meat
That's
Big
a
on the
new.
meat. Big
That's
on
a
the
and
meat.
new.
drugs.
Yes, I mean pleasure. I'm sorry. You rank everything before honor. I forget these things. So. Okay, so
Isn't it nice to have another player character that you'd rather shoot than scout?
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
So
Haley, don't laugh so hard.
so what if, I mean, obviously this guy is running in the shadow, so he runs amongst us, so we could probably do some research on that and figure out, I mean, he has a very particular set of skills that we could probably trace, right? I don't know.
So
It's rough. Kaylee, you have an image and you have a face that was in the data file, but there wasn't a name attached to it. These are, they got mug shots, but they didn't have names attached to these Terra First people.
If only we had a police officer who was connected to the police who might be able to help us.
If
It was a whole
only.
different precinct.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no computer integration in between those things. Scout.
Scout was wanted by the police for murder, and
And I don't use computers.
Right. But like, y'all are pretending like being wanted for murder is a big deal. I don't understand. I mean, Ivan's loaded. He can't pay your fine. What is it, like $2, $3? I have $3.
he was legally cleared, actually. But yeah,
It's just a banana. How much can it cost?
Yeah, just a human life.
all right. So we'll cut it there for the night.
All right.
So you found out that I mean, maybe it's a red herring, maybe not, but Vogel is going to be at the Superdome next week, Wednesday, for a big rally. This person who supposedly died in a Terra First raid of the chemical company that Vogel, when he was a lawyer, sued the chemical company. So maybe, there's a connection there. You don't know or not. Really, where we go from here depends on what you want to do with this information. Kaylee has kind of figured out that, so this thing didn't take ghoulism into account. So as long as Kaylee gets a fresh supply of meat, you can kind of stave off the effects of illness. Scout's not so lucky.
No.
Just make Scout the ghoul.
Scout's going to get worse progressively until you can find some kind of cure. And you all
Kaylee,
might be
we could be ghouls
carriers
together.
We have
Forever.
to stop this thing.
I mean, so
This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Does it not make sense to y'all?
I mean, it's a simple connection here. Someone is taking actions against the Vogel. Someone has this chemical. I'm guessing that this person that you saw who put the collars on this dog is, the one responsible. So we go talk to Vogel and say, Vogel, there's an attack against you, and in return for this information, we're kind of dying from this chemical. Can you point us in a direction?
So you're politically well connected enough that you can talk to a presidential candidate on your say so?
No, but my studio manager, who I am blackmailing, might be able to
That's a
pull
good
it off.
idea. Now, so that is a fair idea. My concern and thought is a Terra First person who is willing to get in a deadly shootout, which several of his companions die, somehow turns into a toxic lord who's running around enslaving dogs with toxic materials and causing degradation to earth spirits, and then is doing a terrorist attack against the guy who got Hawkshorn stopped from recreating this chemical. It feels weird.
I mean, this is the job. It always feels weird. I mean,
Yeah, because people are
The
betraying you
last
for
time
money.
we did a job, they nuked Chicago. That was kind of weird.
that was kind of weird.
I was turned into a ghost and driven headfirst through a cyber spiritual net that contained the nuclear blast.
And don't forget the time when we had to collect all of those ears. I don't think you all joined the crew then. Yeah, there was one time we had to go around this elf, organization, and we had to murder a bunch of their leaders and take their ears. And then the guy paid us to take those ears to Germany and deliver them to a castle.
Yeah,
Like,
but that makes sense.
how does that make sense
Wait,
anymore?
you were the
than
one
this?
who was killing elves and taking their ears?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
well,
us.
Because the power of the elf resides in their ears, and it makes sense in a spiritual world where you're dealing with spirits and you're going with a spirit who was mistreated by elves because elves eat people.
That's not true. Where do you get your information?
I point to Kaylee.
Kaylee is ghoul first, then elf when it comes to dietary needs.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
get the idea that Masu was raised on a diet of Western television.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
apparently he lived in a cave because China didn't have anything that they have over here.
Anyway, let's go talk to Vogel.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I would really be interested in trying to figure out if there were any associations with the Terra First people, and trying to figure out if we could talk to, given that there are survivors of this incident, talk to some of them to see if we could figure out, hey, you have a guy who's gone way off the reservation. Perhaps
That's the thing. According to the information that Techno G got, they should all be dead.
Yes.
All of them. There should not be an organization left.
Yes, but they had friends. I mean, this organization thing doesn't just
If we talk to Vogel's people, there's a chance Vogel could point us in that direction anyway.
Yeah.
And that's
I
going
mean,
to
May
be a
have
lot
initially hired
easier.
them in order to get the case settled out of court.
Yeah, that's going to be easier to track down than trying to track down the friends from a terrorist organization that died a fucking decade ago.
Yeah, it's just that, and they might hate Vogel because he betrayed the movement and blah, 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 blah.
Who cares? That
Which
doesn't
makes
matter. We
sense.
just, we need to stop dying. And talking to Vogel, I think, is the first step in that process.
But we also should acknowledge the fact that you are all highly infectious and not,
I'm
do
going to
this
lick
face to
the
face.
palm of my hands.
Oh,
And I'm going
like
to
I
start
said,
moving towards you.
the fortunate thing is that, like I said, all the weak Chinese people died. So it's all good.
Don't make me make you do another luck check.
I
I'll do
already
it.
did
I'll
one,
do
Bert.
it. I'll do it.
Bert, I did
He's got the
one.
dice.
All right.
You don't get-
Let's call it there, guys. You can
All right,
figure out what's going on for the next session. So, Chuck, what do you got going on with Kobolds the rest of the week?
Yeah, over on twitch.tv/the Defenders of Cobalt. Or is it Defenders of Cobalt? I don't remember. Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Quiet Year. We're doing a setup for our next arc of the Thunder Rift. Thursday, we're doing the Quiet Year because we're going to be spinning up a game here soon. That's going to be a rift on Over the Garden Wall. Friday, we'll be doing more Anvia, the system that Joe on our crew is making. And then next Saturday, over on Grim and Perilous Plays at 1 p.m., I'm going to be running some Fallout 2D20, and then we'll be on Goodman Games that night, but I'll let you talk about that, Bert.
So next game I've got coming up is Tuesday's first edition Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing through the Desert of Desolation series. BX Dungeons and Dragons is Friday, and as Chuck has said, Saturday on the official Goodman Games channel, I'm running Weird Frontiers, a horror western using the Dungeon Crawl classic rules, and I had quite a large hand in developing and doing stuff with that one, so should be a lot of fun. Check out the social media sites I just dropped there. Blue Magic, BLUMATIK.com is the website with all the links. YouTube, Twitch, our Discord, everything else in there. So yeah, check it out. The YouTube site could use some love. I just need a few more subscribers to be able to get my custom URL.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit away from that. So thanks for playing, guys. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, I guess I'm the one who has to end this, aren't I?
Got to end this one. Yeah.
I do. Let me get to an ending screen. That'll do. Okay. Goodbye.